Talohani, hello Olgera, a very warm welcome to the Pacific Way, bringing you stories that matter to the Pacific people. The famous adage, farming is not just a job, it's a way of life, rings true for people throughout the Pacific Islands. For centuries, our forefathers have reaped the rewards from the lands using traditional knowledge and skills and sheer hard work. However, the Pacific is now faced with an uncertain future as extreme weather and climate change take their toll on our food sources. In the true spirit of regionalism, the Vanuatu government hosted the first ever Pacific Week of Agriculture, providing a platform for Pacific Island countries to come together and find solutions for risks that threaten food security for our people.
Pacific Islands people have thrived by surviving from the land and the seas for centuries. Traditional farming practices guaranteed daily supply of nutritious fruits and vegetables, and sufficient proteins were available from the sea and livestock. Over the decades, agriculture has become even more important, if not the most important sector for several Pacific Island nations. However, the entire Pacific region is now faced with an increasing threat of long-term food security. Pacific Island nations and territories are highly prone to natural disasters, especially cyclones, droughts and flooding, which have become even more severe due to the increasing impacts of climate change. In a collaborative effort to address food security throughout the region, the first ever Pacific Week of Agriculture was hosted by the Government of Vanuatu in October 2017, in partnership with the Pacific Community, SPC, and the UN Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO. This marked a vital step towards a regional approach for sustainable food security and sustainable agriculture industry.
This occasion is very important for our farmers as well as other partners to showcase some of their products and produce that they are working with in relation to the overall theme of the Pacific of Agriculture, which is crops. It talks about culture, resilient, opportunity, products, and sustainability. This is very significant for Vanuatu because most of our farmers take this opportunity to meet other farmers, exchange knowledge, and see opportunities for market.
The 3 days of agricultural display at Vanuatu's Independence Park in Port Vila sought to increase awareness on traditional foods and crops for sustainable food security, but more importantly, show how, through technical assistance and innovative use of local resources, Pacific Islanders can ensure sufficient food supply even through the toughest of climatic conditions.
In general, the displays covers the whole value chain, let's say in agriculture, starting from the production, processing, and value adding, and ends with the marketing of all the products. So there are a lot of information in terms of production, how to plant crops, to improve quality, control pest and disease, as well as how to process value add that meets the requirements or standards of the market.
The festive atmosphere provided a perfect stage to kick off the week-long event. Hundreds visited the exhibition stalls, which provided demonstrations on using local resources and adding value to their products. The occasion has been very well received.
I'm very proud of what the Vanuatu government is doing here with with the PWA here in Vanuatu. It's the first time. And it also gives us the moral and the producers also here in Vanuatu to see that our government is helping us in Vanuatu to promote our products in Vanuatu, and I'm proud of that.
The inaugural Pacific Week of Agriculture was held in conjunction with a meeting of the department heads of Agriculture, Forests and Fisheries and the Pacific Ministers for Agriculture, Forest and Fisheries after a lapse of 5 years. The event was jointly hosted and co-chaired by the Pacific Community, or SPC, and the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, or FAO. The Deputy Director General, FAO, says the Pacific region, specifically the small island developing states, are a priority for the FAO.
And we are very much touched by the needs, by all the problems facing by this region, whereby they have covered destruction, recovering, and we can see that all the resources they can put in development are put in the recovering effects from the climate change events.
FAO has previously collaborated with SPC's Land Resource Division, or LRD, to assist several island nations with issues surrounding food security.
FAO is known for all its normative regulatory work. This is the organization that creates advocacy, that makes people aware that there are key issues that have to be addressed. FAO is not a donor. They rely first of all on other donors to make sure that they can implement programs.
On the final day of the week-long event, the Pacific Ministers converged at Iririki Island Resort, the final venue for the event. The Pacific Ministers were accorded a traditional welcome ceremony by the government of Vanuatu as a symbol of the importance of the Pacific Week of Agriculture. This provided an opportunity to openly discuss food security issues impacting their countries and seek guidance on sustainable solutions. Leaders highlighted that their problems, while similar, need country-specific solutions, keeping in mind the unique environments of small atoll states and territories. Apart from climate change and the impact of natural disasters, disease and pest control were issues also of serious concern across the Pacific. Supporting resilient agriculture in the Pacific is a priority for both SPC and FAO. With the complementary nature of each organization's work evident, an agreement to build on this partnership and engage in more collaborative efforts was seen as an important and positive development for the region.
We decided to work even closer than we are working now. In some areas like crop, you know that the region faces several problems linked to climate change. To have varieties being climate sensitive to drought or to floods, work on the protection of the genetic resources. You know that is an area where SPC is working to have the gene banks to protect the genes of the traditional crops. FAO hosts the Secretariat of the International Crop, and we decided how we can really expand the areas and work in areas of interest of the region.
Chaired by the Deputy Director General of FAO and the Deputy Director General of SPC. This has huge significance for the Pacific region, and it's a message to the world that, look, we are ready jointly to work together on food security in the region.
Welcome back to the Pacific Way. In our final story for today, we look at something we use every day in our lives. It is vital for construction, development, designing, and simply finding our way around. Geospatial information and surveying makes all these possible. The Pacific Community, or SPC, in partnership with member countries, helped establish the Pacific Geospatial and Survey Council, or PGSC, which provides a regional network and forum for the geospatial information and survey authorities of Pacific Island countries and territories to address regional challenges. The PGSC seeks to ensure sustainable development in the Pacific enabled by world-class geospatial information and surveying services.
We live in a world increasingly dependent on technology. Even across the tropical Pacific Islands, from the rural highlands, remote island paradises to the urban cities, we all use technology which requires geospatial information. Geospatial information is location information. It can include everything from the topographical features illustrated on a map to location-related datasets like population density or land use. Any information that relates to positions of things on the Earth's surface is geospatial. Most human activity depends on geospatial information, knowing where things are and how they relate to one another. Geospatial information supports a wide range of business, government and community activities like helping emergency forces locate addresses and other important information so they can quickly respond, deciding where to build important services like a hospital or a new school. Geospatial information underpins the majority of economic and sustainable development activities in the world today, and the Pacific Islands are no exception.
It applies across a wide range of spectrum, no? From maritime boundaries and coastal mapping and engineering surveying, and there's a need to sort of have a conformity or consistency of the practices that has been practiced in the region. So this is, it's surveyors or geodetic surveyors play a wide range of roles, and especially in the professional, technical level of the work, the activities have been carried out in the region.
The services provided by Pacific Island geospatial scientists and surveyors contribute to the security and well-being of Pacific people, supporting many industries and sectors. Geospatial scientists and surveyors capture, compute, and create spatial information. In addition, they must also enable communication between these various layers of information across different systems. It is critical that the Pacific Islands region continues to develop these capabilities. This is the vision of the Pacific Geospatial and Surveying Council, or PGSC. The PGSC was first established in 2014 with support from the Australian-funded Climate and Ocean Support Program in the Pacific. Surveyors and geospatial experts from 14 Pacific Island countries gathered to form a community of practice.
In all countries there is a big challenge because when we talk about the Global Geodetic Reference Frame, this is basically a technical term, but with respect to surveying and mapping, where we are located at, it has to be an international system. To do that, most of the member countries are not at that level. We have to have that converted or have a transformation from the local system to our international system.
Since then, the PGSC has developed a charter which has been endorsed at the ministerial level by 11 Pacific Island countries. In addition, the Council has developed and endorsed a 10-year strategy that will provide guidance for the development of geospatial and surveying capacity across the region. The four main objectives of the PGSC strategic plan are
leadership, standards and technology, sustainability, capacity building, the PGSC has set out to achieve this through wide coordination, communication and collaboration of activities, as well as sharing resources and applications of location information through regional and global partnerships.
The UN GGIM are working closely with the Pacific Geospatial and Surveying Council. We see contribution from the Pacific as particularly important to our objective of improving geospatial data management around the globe. The Pacific is really important in terms of management of geospatial information, and it's critical for our understanding of earthquakes and natural disasters, which are important to all of us.
Increasingly, Pacific Island governments are recognising the value of robust survey and geospatial services and supporting their development within national budgets. Partnerships are critical to the successful implementation of the PGSC strategy. The Pacific Geospatial and Surveying Council relies upon these relationships and is a contributor to global efforts to improve positioning and geospatial information management in the Pacific and around the world.
It would be good to have support from outside agencies that would like to help in contributing to our work towards a unified geodetic frame for Vanuatu. We are short-staffed in the government, and we need outside expertise to come in to help us drive Vanuatu towards a unified geodetic frame.
The Pacific Community, SPC, which provides Secretariat support services to the PGSC, is working with member countries to meet the targets that they have set out to achieve. The PGSC chairman believes that the regional geospatial and surveying activities are on the right track.
I believe that most of the islands are following this path, so we are moving towards this direction to upgrade all our reference frame and the way we do things, practice that we do at the national level. And now that we have the council, this is the opportunity to sort of share how we do, and then we can help each other.
That's all we have time for this evening. We'll leave you with this panpipe performance by the Solomon Islands delegation at the 4th Melanesia Arts Festival in Noumea. Be sure to check out our stories on the Pacific Community YouTube channel for more videos and the latest news from the region, or check us out on the Pacific Way Facebook page. Until next week, Tofa, Tsapo and Moademanda.
Represents something like let's go attack, or advance, or let's retreat. Those tunes represent those different type of actions that we do. During the olden days, the men just sing. They just go, those chants. Those chants we put it into panpipe music because we do mostly panpipe music and dances. So we do those traditional war dances with shield and axe. Then we use the pipes to do those tunes. We also do the women's dance. In our dialect it's called Sale Olo. Those in the Solomons very popular. That's women's dance. But due to the fact that we have to fly people, cost money, so that's why we don't get our women here.